Why do we instantly feel warm and peaceful when one person touches us, yet we may bristle and cringe when touched by another? Is it purely psychological, or is something happening energetically? What happens when we touch? When we touch another person, we exchange energy. A kind of energetic communion takes place, even in such simple acts as shaking hands or touching another on the shoulder. All kinds of contact, casual, intimate, even contact for healing purposes, involve a commingling of our energy field with that of another. Fascinating breakthroughs in understanding the energetics of touch have recently been discovered at the Institute of Heart Math. In one study, pairs of subjects were wired up to electrodes. Researchers found that when the subjects were holding hands, each person's heart energy waves were detectable on the surface of the other's body and even affected the other's brain waves. Then they attempted to determine whether heart energy was transferred without physical contact. The subjects were seated 3 feet apart, and indeed their electrocardiogram output was detectable across the surface. Our strangers, there's also a collective phenomenon that can happen. Since our energy field extends several feet away, another person can be twice that distance, and we are connected where our fields meet. This makes it easy to understand how we can be swept up in the collective energy of a large group of people. Imagine 2 drops of water sitting near each other on a surface. Now imagine taking a toothpick and piercing the side of one drop, then drawing it over to the other drop. When they meet, they flow into each other, creating one larger drop. Likewise, when we are joining energy fields with others, we create a large unified field. This larger field serves as a medium through which people who are physically far apart are connected energetically. This energetic connection also enables us to be in sync with others. In marching, team play, or dancing, our whole body becomes an oscillator, affecting and being affected by the oscillators around us. This same principle applies to sitting silently in meditation or prayer in a group, or singing with others. When we all become entrained together, we oscillate collectively, and the whole group becomes one big oscillator. This helps explain how group and cult experiences and mass action, for better or for worse, can be so compelling. When we're in the presence of powerful personalities, such as spiritual teachers, evangelists, political orators, and even expert salespeople, we can be drawn into entrainment with them. When we enter into prayer, meditation, or spiritual healing activity, we are entering into a kind of courtship of the Spirit. We seek an experience of direct partnership with the divine, because these activities are all concerned with union or communion across dimensions. It is no coincidence that the words holy, whole, hail, and health all have their roots in the Greek holos, meaning oneness with all that is. There's a Sufi saying that prayer is when you talk to God, and meditation is when God talks to you. Though we may bring different intentions to these 2 pursuits, in practice they are often commingled and can bring similar energetic experiences. But how can it be that simply sitting still can generate all these things, especially when the whole practice is centered around non-doing? Here we have strong indications that simply by consciously intending to bridge to another dimension, a chain of events seems to be set in motion that can alter us on an energetic level. That happens because we become transducers. Remember, a transducer is any device that converts energy from one form to another. Remember, too, that the human body contains a transducer system comprising our endocrine glands, our nervous system, and our own biofield to which these systems are coupled, and that this is what allows us to detect subtle energies. In spiritual practices, the whole person becomes a transducer. We are converting energy from another dimension, the spiritual, into energy of this dimension, which we can experience throughout our body as light and many other sensations. Emphasis is not so much on sound vibration as on being absorbed in the repetition of the mental intention. This practice opens the heart and creates deep feelings of peacefulness and harmony. Take a moment right now to think of someone who has touched your life deeply in a positive way and whom you genuinely appreciate. Picture this person in your mind's eye, and as you do so, bring your attention to your heart. you have just caused a shift in the energy field of your heart. One of the goals of spiritual practices across traditions is a sense of integration and oneness within oneself. On the physiological level, this takes the form of coherence and entrainment occurring in our energy systems, and this is not something that takes years of practice to experience. Simply feeling sincere appreciation increases coherence in the energy field emanating from the heart. We all have native healing abilities. We are all healers, and it is only our cultural blinders and prejudices that keep more of us from functioning as healers. Spiritual healing by the laying on of hands or by prayer or meditation has been practiced for as long as recorded history. The reality is that we all have performed this act countless times spontaneously in our daily lives without giving it a second thought. A bump on the head or a bump or bruise anywhere else on the body is usually met with the laying on of a hand to soothe or protect. We do not have to conjure up the conscious intention to soothe or protect, for it's already there. Nor do we think about the fact that our hands are conduits of healing energy from the heart, which is channeled through our palm chakras, or that by touching the wound we are sending energy through it that can clear out trauma and restore energetic balance to that area. We also spontaneously tend to reach out to touch others around us who are suffering. Taking another's hand, placing a loving hand on someone's shoulder, are ways we naturally express our caring. It's not just psychological support, for something energetic is transferred. When we touch another, we are completing a circuit by connecting energy fields and creating a larger joint energy field. This allows the other to draw upon our resources and allows us to give support in the form of energy, or what we commonly call strength. The indigenous people of Hawaii have a beautiful practice that shows the impact of the collective energy field on us as individuals. When someone is ill and to be treated by a kahuna healer, the patient's entire community must first assemble and undergo a forgiveness ritual in which everyone releases any resentments or ill feelings that were being held in the collective field of which the patient is a part. This constitutes a kind of cleansing or purging of the shared field, allowing the group's collective intention to be as strong and pure as possible as it is focused on the well-being of the patient. It is only after this process that the healer will proceed with the healing work. This is a true expression of the understanding that we are not living in isolation, but are intimately connected to and subtly affected by those around us.